Welcome to the Daily Decant, your 5-minute briefing on the world of wine. Each episode delivers practical insights to help you choose, order, and talk about wine with more confidence in everyday social settings. Let's get into today's decant. We're still in the southern Rhône, but today we step away from the famous name and into the villages that surround it, where some of the most exciting and fairly priced wines in all of France are being made right now. The 3 appellations we're covering today are Gigondas, Vacqueyras, and Rasteau. Most wine drinkers have heard of 1 or 2 of them. Fewer have actually explored them with any seriousness. And that's exactly the opportunity, because all 3 offer genuine Southern Rhône character at prices that Châteauneuf-du-Pape stopped offering years ago. Let's start with Gigondas. Gigondas sits northeast of Châteauneuf in the foothills of the Dentelle de Montmirail, a jagged limestone ridge that you can see from miles away and that gives the appellation some of its most distinctive terroir. The vineyards here climb into the hills at elevations that bring cooler temperatures than the flat southern Rhône plain, and that extra elevation shows up in the wines' freshness and structure. Gigondas is Grenache dominant, like most of the southern Rhône, but the mountain influence gives it a firmer tannic backbone and a slightly more savory character than you typically find in Châteauneuf. This is a wine for people who want power with structure. Gigondas is not a shy appellation. The wines are dense, dark-fruited, and built for the medium term. You want at least 3 to 5 years on a serious bottle. Top producers to know include Domaine du Rhône, which makes old-fashioned, serious Gigondas from very old, and Château de Saint-Côme, which offers a range of wines at different price points, all made with care. Expect to pay $25 to $50 for a solid Gigondas from a good producer, and expect to be happy about it. Now, Vacqueyras is just south of Gigondas on flatter, stonier terrain. It received its own appellation status in 1990 after having previously been sold as Côte de Rhône. The wines here are a little more accessible in youth than Gigondas, a bit rounder, a bit more fruit-forward, with less of the mountain austerity. This makes Vacqueyras excellent restaurant wine, approachable enough to drink with dinner, complex enough to hold a conversation with. Vacqueyras is probably the best pure value in the southern Rhône right now. You can find genuinely excellent bottles from serious producers in the $18 to $30 range. Domaine Les Sangs Cailloux, whose name translates delightfully as the blood of the stones, is one of the finest producers in the appellation and still reasonably priced. Château de Tours, owned by the Renaud family of Châteauneuf, fame, is another excellent choice and perhaps the most prestigious in the appellation. Finally, Rasteau. Rasteau is the least known of the 3 and in some ways the most interesting. This small appellation sits northeast of Châteauneuf on clay and limestone soils, and it makes Grenache-based wines that tend toward a rustic, earthy richness that stands apart from the more polished styles of its neighbors. Rasteau became a full appellation for dry red wines only in 2010, so it's genuinely new to most wine drinkers. What that means in practice is that prices are still relatively low, quality producers are being discovered, and the opportunity to get in early on a rising appellation is real. Rasteau also makes a traditional fortified wine called Rasteau d'Eau, a Grenache-based vin d'eau naturel that is the southern Rhone's answer to port, sweet, rich, and worth experiencing at least once. So here's your variety takeaway. If you're spending $30 or more on Côte de Rhône, out of habit, redirect that money to Gigondas, Vacqueyras, or Rasteau. You'll get more wine for it. Tomorrow, we'll explore the region's best-kept secret, White Rhône. That's today's Daily Decant. If you found this helpful, be sure to subscribe and share with your friends so you can continue building your wine knowledge in just a few minutes a day. See you tomorrow for your next decant.